All right. Chosen one. Welcome back to another episode on Antonicus Motivates. And yes, sir, we are about to get into another one today, as we always normally do about this time. Because you already know, man, chosen one. See, we got to have these discussions every day. We have to continue to have these discussions because, see, only we can understand about what we've been through. They don't understand, man. The sheeple, the zombie people, the sleepwalkers, the creatures of the night, whatever you want to call them, okay? NPCs, robots, humanoids, Decepticons. We already know they're all out there, right? But you know, I just got in the car and I'm getting ready to move out again today. Today we're almost into Easter. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday. So today I would like to reflect on the King above all kings, Lord Jesus Christ. He is risen. He rose from the grave. And that's what we do this for. That's what we're here for. That's who we're here for. We're here for him. We give him praise during this time right now and gratitude because of everything he brought us through when nobody else would, right? When they left us for dead, when they did what they did to us to try to destroy us and everything, it was only him and our faith and what we had, our resilience inside of us that brought us through, that brought us up to this point. But we're still fighting through these battles every day. It's like, I know many of y'all are still in your own personal struggles, hardships, you're going through whatever you're going through. I feel you, man. I know the feeling, man. Y'all know my situation. I already told you, So you know my story. You know everything that happened to me. It's been since September 25th, 2024, when they shot up my house and put smoke all up in my house and terrorized me and my mama. My mama's 83 years old. She was screaming bloody murder, saying they shot her windows out, in her room. Then the very next night, we had to go through Hurricane Helene storm and all that, the hurricane. So we thought we was going to die for 2 nights in a row. I done told you this story. This is just my testimonial all over again. But they thought they had me, man. They thought they had us. My mama swept up off a bullet off the front living room floor the very next day. I done told y'all the story. I had to dive bomb in my hallway. I had my audio Bible playing that night after I had got my basket of laundry off the top of my dryer. I know that's the only reason why we survived. And I'm still here in this same spot, man. And the police never did nothing. But I'm going to get my story out there and I'm going to tell, because that's what they don't want us to do. They don't want us to tell our story. They thought they would hide from what they did to us. And then what they really thought was that it would never be known. But see, we are telling the story. Us chosen ones, we're telling our testimonies. We're telling our stories anyway. Even though they think they swept it, all up under the rug real nice and clean and did a good job, hiding from what they did. Paying off the officials, paying off the police, the judges, and all of that, whatever they did. You know what I mean? These are the wicked and evil ones. We already know, Ephesians 6:12, who did this to us because they couldn't stand our light, because they couldn't stand our brilliance and our shine, But we already know that. We know that's, who was behind all of these things that happened to us, right, chosen one? Well, I know that for a fact. I don't need to see the evidence or anything like that. I already know. That's exactly what happened. And then I know the reason why ain't nobody talking. And why nobody's saying nothing? Because they was all in on it. And also because they was afraid to tell. You know, they was afraid to tell, and they took sides with the evil ones. They took sides, their friendships friendly with the evil, wicked ones. They're all together, man. And I see them moving. You know, I'm not blind. I see them moving around out here every day. They think that I don't see them, but I see them very clearly. You know, I'm watching them. You know, so they can build tents and stuff like that on their porches and stuff like that, or they can go under the tents and talk amongst themselves and stuff like that and everything like that. It ain't like I don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. And then when I come outside, you know, when I do my thing or whatever, and I see them moving around, I'm watching them too then. But anyways, it's time for me to crank up and move out, man. You know, I'm talking and rambling on a little too much. But before we get into the video today, as usual, you know, I always just like to, I said I was already going to do this because sometimes I just don't have time in the morning. I got to get things done, and I just need to say my sayings every day. I still need to say them every day because, see, it's critical. It's very critical that I remember this every day, to keep telling myself this in my head up here, you know. And it's critical for us to say these things together as well, you see, because this is how we remind ourselves of his promises, and we speak life over ourselves every day. So we don't worry about nothing else that's going on around us, and so we can keep ourselves grounded in truth, because we are the truth. We're living for the truth, and we're being the truth. And that's what they hated. That's what they don't like, because they don't want to face the truth. They don't want to face the light. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and say this again before I move out. And it goes like this, okay? I will not fear. I will not faint. My God is with me. So therefore, nothing can defeat me, because I am a child of the Most High God, redeemed by the blood of Christ, set free from condemnation, and treasured by my Creator. That's what they don't know, chosen one. See? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And as usual, I speak these verses over my life to the enemy. 100. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Psalm 37, verse 3 through 5 tells me what? I will have the desires of my heart. 1 Corinthians 2:9 tells me what? No eye has seen, no ear has heard the things the Lord has prepared for those who love him. Okay? What does John 10:10 tell us? It tells us exactly what happened to us, right, chosen one? What did the devil do? He came to kill, steal, and destroy us, right? But what did the Lord do? What did he come and live and die and bleed for us for? What? He came to give us life more abundantly. Okay? So we know that. Then it says right here, because the word tells us that. Then it says right here, Jeremiah 29:11, there is a what for me? A what? Excuse me, hater? There's a hope and a future for me. Okay? Exodus 23:25 tells me what? What would happen if I served the Lord? What? Exodus 23:25 tells me if I serve the Lord, then I will be blessed. Blessed. All right? Psalm 84:11 tells me no good thing will be withheld from me. Okay? And Philippians 4:13 tells me, and it tells us all, right, chosen ones, that we can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Psalm 132:15 tells me abundance. So I don't care what they thinking about lack. It's no lack, it's abundance, okay? Psalm 1:3 tells me whatever I do will prosper. Whatever I do will prosper. Okay? Moving right along. Psalm 55:22 tells me he will sustain me. And that I will what? Not be shaken. Okay? Joel 2:26. What does Joel 2:26 tells me? Tells me I will do what? I will eat plenty. Okay? 1 John 5:14-15 tells me, what do we know? What do we know? We know that we will have whatever we pray and ask for. Right? Okay. Then what does Proverbs 10:22 tell us? The blessings of the Lord. That's what that tells us, okay? And then we got Proverbs 2:6-7 tells us what? What does Proverbs 2:6-7 tell us? I'll wait. Success is in store for the upright. Not failure. He is a shield to those whose walk is blameless. The Lord gives wisdom to the righteous. So I rise in the power of God and nullify every strategy of the enemy who's shutting that down. I am protected by the hand of the Lord, and no evil will prevail against me. I am walking into favor today. I carry the seal of heaven. Every step that I take is blessed. I do not beg these clowns for breakthrough out here, you know? I don't beg them for nothing. Psalm 23:1. I walk in it. I do not beg for breakthrough. I walk in it. I do not wait for peace. I carry it. I do not chase doors. What do? I unlock them. Okay? I am not who I was. I am who God says that I am. So my name is rising. My future is secure. My miracles are manifesting. Today is not ordinary. Today is divine. Let's get it. 2026. Almost Easter. Let's go, chosen one. Tomorrow is Easter. So we remember our risen Lord today, right? Commemorate him, Lord Jesus Christ, the King of Kings. That's who we roll with, like I said in the song. Gotta down the windows a little bit, it's starting to warm up out here. Yeah. Just had to let a little bit of fresh air in the window real quick, you know, kind of cool off for just a second. But anyway, that makes me always feel good, chosen one, to go over those sayings every morning, you know. And like I said, I think that that's going to help us all to grow and to know, you know, what's in store for us. You know, not what they wanted to give us, And just like my man Manchus, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, brother. Manchus says on his channel, the Advancing channel, I'm wearing his gear too, because you know we always advancing. That's what we doing over here. We're always becoming better, just improving a little every day. You know, Chosen One. Just like he says on his channel, though, if the gift, what's he say? It said something like, if the gift they try to give you, if you don't accept it, then who does the gift belong to? You know? Who does it belong to? It don't belong to us, right? It belongs to them. So they tried to give us a doo-doo sandwich, right? A doo-doo brown sandwich. That's what they tried to make us eat. And they tried to make our lives a living hell and tell us that we couldn't be who we wanted to be for Christ. And tried to make us conform to the program. And tried to force us into, you know, all that negative stuff that we already know what its end result would have been, right? Which would have been us locked up, catching charges again, going back into the system again, going back into the loop, into the cycle, giving them our money, right? Why we want to do that? That's what God blessed us with. Why should we want to do that? And what they want us to do is be giving the dope man our money, right? That's part of it too. It's all part of the loop. Addicted. Now we got to go back to the dope man. And the dope man is like, he tries to act like God and stuff like that over us. Why we want to do that? Because we already know that he's funding the politicians' pockets and stuff like that. And they all together enslaving us all out here. We already know everything because we see through the illusion. Because our spiritual eyes are open, Chosen One. So why are we going to do everything that they want us to do? Why are we going to give the liquor store our money so we can catch cirrhosis of the liver and make our muscles, our muscular structure shrivel up and get weak and make ourselves turn to weakness again? Why are we going to give the tobacco companies our money to make our lungs stop functioning properly and to make them rich, so then they can take that same money and give it to the pharmaceutical companies to pay for some other kind of sorcery drug to put into our system to cure the same thing they made us sick from? Why are we going to give McDonald's our money and Burger King and Wendy's and all of that our money when we already know that's clogging our heart arteries and our blood vessels and stuff like that? Not saying that, you know, because you already know, Chosen One, we all done partake of that too, you know, but it's just like when you know better, you do better, right? If you don't, you got something wrong with you. But anyway, man, you know, I spent a lot of time talking just right there for a minute. And, you know, I know that this video, I try to keep the videos kind of brief as possible. Y'all already know, Chosen One, just because, you know, I want to be able to upload all this in a timely fashion and everything. Plus, I got to go over here. I'm about to head back to the trail right now, man, so I can go ahead and get my burpee session in, because we about to hit day number 4 right now, you know? And we can't stop now. We just now got started. We're just getting momentum, right? So we got to keep the momentum going. We can't slow down, man. And we're not going to let nothing out here external around us and stuff like that, you know, try to throw another monkey wrench in the process. That's what they've been doing the whole time, right? Because every time when we build momentum, they want to try to stop us. We already know what time it is, right, Chosen One? They don't like it. But whatever they don't like, do it some more. The other dude was saying something in his video about they didn't like him writing in his notebook. Write in your notebook some more, man. You know, write your poems, your verses, or whatever. I don't care, man. I'll write in my notebook every day. I got my notebook right here, raggy as hell, but I still got, you see what I'm saying? I got my notebook. I'm not gonna let none of these haters stop me from writing in my notebook. If they have anything to say negative about something you doing, whatever that is that they said something negative about what you was doing, do that some more, man. Do it some more. And you ain't gotta like get all like upset or nothing. Just do it some more. You know, you ain't gotta say nothing back, talk back to them or nothing like that. Just do whatever they don't like. Whatever they don't like, do that some more. That's all I'm saying. And I'm gonna keep doing everything some more. And it's more music coming and more other things coming. You know, we're gonna go ahead and keep that going too over here. But little by little, you know, baby steps first. That's how we doing this, right? Baby steps, step by step. It's a step-by-step process, all right? So anyway, I'm gonna get down to the trail, get my bag on, my book bag on, you know, like I always do every day. And then we're gonna start marching, all right? After I get the burpees training section in. And then we're going, just like soldiers, keep doing our thing, all right? So I'm gonna be right back with y'all in just a shortly moment, a brief moment, okay? So I'll be right back with you, all right? So hold that thought right there, okay, Chosen One? All right, yeah, Chosen One. So I just got my burpee session back in again, day number 4, man. You know, we just gonna keep on getting it every day, you know? Keep on putting in that work. Every day, that's what we doing out here, right? Yes, sir. Got my energy drink in. About to get these steps in now. And we're going to continue on picking up where I left off at before. Like I said, man, I had to come right back to you, you know, and tell you about this because, you know, I have to express myself and let you know how I feel because, yeah, man. See, man, they think they got away with what they've been doing to us. See, Chosen One? They think they got away with what they did to me. No, man. They think they're going to get away with what they've been done to us to try to silence our voices, you know, to try to cancel us. And then in my case, taking it all the way across that fatal line. You know, to try to unalive somebody who wasn't doing nothing but minding their own business in their house. You know? See, they could never get to us out there because we don't go out there. We don't mix and mingle where they are, right? So what do? They try to bring the whole thing straight up to your house. That's how these demonic entities, they recognize who we are. They know, Chosen One. But see, we're so smart, man. We already done outsmarted all their traps. They don't like how we are able to avert and like navigate around everything they're trying to do to us because we already know they're plotting and scheming on us, right? We already know they're rubbing their 2 little hands together behind closed doors with those beady eyes talking about how we gonna get him, right? Yeah, we recognize who they are, but we're still gonna win anyway. We're gonna win. Yeah. We let them know, wicked, evil, satanic entities, you're not gonna destroy us. You can't never destroy us. We are the best, man. Real kings never die, just like I said in the song I made. Yeah. They didn't want our music. They didn't want our life. They didn't want what we were about. Let them have the devil then. Let them have Satan. See how that works out for them. and see if their money can save them. See if their riches can save them, the wicked, evil ones. Their riches ain't gonna save them. And the wind is blowing. I hope I don't get too much wind in the video, man. You know, try to make the videos a little bit better, man, without so much wind. But you know, we are in March. I mean, we were just in March and we're in April now. And March was real windy. April's probably gonna be windy again. Anyway, man, like I was saying, man, back to what I was saying though, you see, and that's what this topic is gonna be about today, is about how, like, they think they got away with what they did to you, chosen one, but they did not. They think they got away with it, but they didn't, because we telling our story. We telling our stories. All of the chosen ones are telling their stories, man. We're telling about how they tried to destroy us during the worst times humanity has ever known, and tried to stop and block our incomes and stuff like that, just because we would not resort to some kind of fraudulent behavior or some kind of, you know, some kind of evil, wicked stuff. They didn't like to see that we made our honest money, because that's what we do. Because we shine. Because, you know, God gave us those gifts, those talents, chosen one. That's what he did. He gave us the ability to work with our hands so we could mind our business. He gave us our gifts, our talents, our uniqueness that nobody else has. It belongs to us. That's what they wanted to take from us the whole time. That's really what they want to take from us. It ain't really even, yeah, the money is part of it, but they want to take that away. But really what they want to take from us is our spirit, our gift. But we're connected to him. You know, we're connected to him. They can't see what happened was, they know, or what happened, what they try to do, and what happened was, we actually, see, they can't, there's no enemy within, chosen one. So you already know that. So if there's no enemy within, then the enemy without can do you no harm. It wasn't until we got into that point where, you know, we were going through our low point or whatever. You know, we were going through that situation, that hardship, where we turned to things that we should not have, and where we stumbled, you know. And see, that's what they know. We know that now though, you know, but we probably didn't know that back then. They know that, you know, if you create the enemy within by getting down into depression and resorting to substances and stuff like that, then they know that that cuts you between, you know, him. That stops that creates that, you know, that that ability to open you up for their attacks. That creates that gives them a way in. We learned about the doors though, right? And we're still fighting against the doors. I was just fighting against them yesterday. You know what I mean? They're all out here, man. You know, we got to keep the doors locked and shut, man. You know, for the enemy. We got our full armor on, you know, but they looking for any crack, man. We can't leave the doors cracked, man. We can't entertain things. I done told you about that before. We have to watch everything we entertain, chosen one. You already know. But not to stray too much off the topic, though. You know what I mean? Back to what I was saying. What they wanted to do was, they wanted to take everything from us, and then they thought that they was just going to just do it, ride off in the wind, and forget about us and leave us for dead, and nobody would ever know, and that it would just be fine and dandy, and that they would just get away with it and nobody would ever know, and their life would go on. They would get all the, you know, respect, and they would ruin our reputations and get away with it, and then they would get, what they was trying to do was trying to get our spot. They would get our spot. They would get your spot, chosen one. They wanted to take your spot. That's what they wanted to do. They want to take your position, man. See, God gave you the position. They knew that you, they recognized you as the threat, like I said before. Then they wanted your position. They was hating on you the whole time. All of them were fake. You didn't learn till later on when they showed you who they all were. Now you know. And you know, it's a wrap for them now. Now that you know. I think they pretty much know it's a wrap too. Because even though they might try to be nice now, or they might try to, you know, act a certain way, we already know that's all an act, right, chosen one? And as soon as given another opportunity, you know, they'll do the same thing all over again. They're opportunists. That's what they are. They're just looking for another opportunity to manipulate you, man, to take advantage of you, to try to suck you into their trap so they can exploit you. So they can take advantage of you, exploit you for your weaknesses, and do whatever they can to, like, you know, stop your hustle, man. Stop your grind. They can't never stop your grind. But that's what they want to do. Exploit your vulnerabilities and stop your grind, stop your shine. But they can't never do that. They're not doing that. We shutting that all down this season, man. We know what they did. We know exactly what they did. God knows what they did. The main thing, see, God knows what they did. So they think they can hide. Like I said, man, this is Amos chapter 9, chosen one. I done told you before, man. It's Amos chapter 9, verse 2 through 4. They can run to the top of the mountain, to the bottom of the sea to try to hide. They're not going to hide from what they did to us. We are the best. We're a royal priesthood. We already know that. The word tells us that, chosen one. We are connected to the divine. John chapter 15, I done told you, to divine, of the divine. That's why we're bearing fruit now. We were bearing fruit before, see. We was already bearing fruit a long time ago. I done told y'all I done put out 5 albums, man. I Give God the Glory 1, 2, 3, Forever Volume 1 and 2. Y'all can check out my music. You know, my music is still out there, man. On my Reverb Nation page. ReverbNation.com, Christ Money Ministry. You can see my music out there. It's out there. I mean, like, I didn't get it all loaded onto there. A lot of stuff I lost. My computer had to click a death. You know, I sold all my stuff, my mic and stuff like that, because you know what they did to us financially, chosen one. They tried to destroy us. I didn't have no support. The other people, they wanted to stay continuing to do, following behind the like the carbon copy of everyone else, the secular stuff, man, the secular music. And you know, see, I can't change what other people do. This is all I can do is remain who I am. That's who we are going to remain, chosen one. We are going to remain being who we are. And I see y'all out there, man. Y'all inspire me a lot, man. You know, with what you're doing over on your platforms and your channels, and how y'all are telling your stories about what they did to us. Because we're going to get the word out there, even though they try to cover it up, you know, with all their money and all their clout and everything like that. I don't care. And they can start World War III's and all of that. We don't care nothing about that. We know who we are with, who we are rolling with. The King of Kings. And it's time to celebrate his resurrection, his life today. Because tomorrow is Easter Sunday. You know, praise be to you, Lord Jesus. You know, as I look up at the sky, as an airplane flies by. We're sky high, just like the airplane. That's where we're going. They try to turn our ceiling, like my man Brian, the spiritual warrior, says, shout out to him, not to steal your saying, bro, but they tried to turn our sky into a ceiling. They can't turn our sky into no ceiling. The sky is not the limit for us. We're going all the way to the top. We can't be stopped. All we have to do is just find our groove, do the work, put in the work. Remember to stay connected, and also to just never give up, no matter what. That's what they waiting for. That's what they've been waiting for. That's what they was always waiting for, was for us to fall off. That's what they wanted. They were secretly desiring that we would fall off. They must have lost their rabbit mind when they thought that. They must have lost their rabbit minds if they ever thought that. I tell you the truth, man. Just getting it in again though today. Look out here, man. Out here at the water, get the view in real quick. Out here, all we do is win, baby. All we do is win. Constantly. The hell with them. They can all burn in the lake of fire. I don't care. Still getting it. Every day. Every day. But anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start to close out the video. I'll let y'all get a little view there with me out here connected with nature, as we always do every day. And as I always say at the close of the video, I just like to say, to each and every one of you out there who are in your own personal battles, struggles, or hardships, or you've been through the jealousy, the hatreds, the smear campaigns, and all of that. This channel will probably appeal to you, especially if you're a chosen one. You already know there's none like us. There's very few like us out here. Very, very few. So, this is what we do over here. Is a motivational thing. It's like a motivational, encouraging, uplifting channel. Just for any of y'all out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. Like, you've already seen the haters. You've already seen them trying to throw you off when you starting to elevate, when you starting to achieve. You've seen all the signs. You've seen the little remarks, the little whatever gestures, the cues. You're starting to see like the little hints they're dropping by the smart aleck comments and stuff like that. It's all just, if you seeing that, that's all just like more confirmation that you on the right path. If you ain't got no haters, man, you doing something wrong. You need to get on a different type of level. See, we have haters because we know we're doing what we supposed to be doing. If you don't have no haters in 2026, something is wrong with you. I done said it before. So that just comes with this territory, a lot of hatred. You see what I'm saying? So I had already made a song about them, how they were hypnotized with hatred. And you could probably scroll way down on my channel and find that video of that song that I made, that particular song. And what they want to do is take your peace. They want wars. Haters want wars. They don't want no peace. So like I said, that's what they want. But we have our peace right here in this nature and what we're doing over here on my channel. Like I said, and I keep on rambling on, but that's what this channel is all about, man. It's all about peace, love, light, joy, blessings to all of you. And we will never stop. We will never quit. We're unstoppable over here on this channel. And we're going to continue to better each other and grow. So if you into all of that, you into the Word of God and stuff like that, we share the Word of God over here. We have fellowship, little sessions where, I bring out the Bible, read different things, and then we can talk about that amongst each other. And so that's part of what this is about too, and just recognizing one another out here, the chosen. And even if you're not chosen, this channel will appeal to you if you're into all those types of things, and then they're becoming the best versions of yourself, if that's what you're working for and you're advancing and stuff like that. So anyway, as usual, before I close the video, peace, love, light, blessings to you all. And man, I'm gonna just go ahead and catch y'all all on the next one, all right? So till then, Peace. I'm out.